I think that's something else that's important for students or young artists to realize, and myself to remind myself, that sometimes projects take years to unfold, and things may move to the front burner and the back burner, but just because they're not resolved immediately in the time frame that you want it to be resolved doesn't mean that it won't. I think of myself as an engaged artist, engaged in the things that I really care about. And I think there's an ongoing pursuit of finding where is my place and my voice with what I have to offer in the world. And how does that impact, how can that affect the things I care about, and really wanting to live in an integrated way where the things that I am passionate about, which include justice, and that those things can come out in my work in a really honest way. Temperament wise, I'm not usually the one on the streets yelling at the front of the crowd, but I believe that there are many ways that societies can and need to be transformed, and ways that it can be transformed. And part of it can be in a quiet space. Part of it can be through provocative contemplation or contemplative provocation. It doesn't have to be in red and black and bold. Part of what this work is about is peeling back the veils of amnesia, or just the way that development and society and capitalism rolls forward in a way that erases stories that are inconvenient, or realities, or just kind of veils over things. I wanted it to be a way of uncovering and revealing some of the underlying perpetuating mechanisms of displacement that not only were like bald racism, but the things couched in beautification and urban renewal, and the way that urban development is used and acts, as a tool or an arm of displacement. And, really wanting to look at that closely, more to empower people to understand the way that things work, and to be able to recognize what's happening in present day. And so, really questioning where do things come from, trying to understand that and grapple with it, so that moving forward, we can make clear-eyed decisions and have clear conversations and ask the right questions. And part of what I wanted to talk about was the kind of disrespectful or problematic approach that the people who built Austin originally just laid this grid flat over this very dynamic landscape, and didn't, it just disregarded the natural rhythms, and then have been paying the consequences for that disregard ever since. I'm trying to draw connections between our relationship with the natural elements of our spaces and relationships with our co-inhabitants. But there's a through line of thinking about collaborative, respectful cohabitation, and making decisions and working in concert with other elements, rather than extracting, dominating, controlling, but really coming into a more harmonious negotiation. What I'm finding is that to be satisfied, I need to stay close to my making practice, but also to be willing to embrace these kinds of ebbs and flows of studio time, and realizing that often there's invisible work that's happening as well as an artist, just when you're in quiet space, in meditative space, as you're reading, as you're exposing yourself, kind of filling your creative well in all kinds of ways, whether it's, within the art field, going to see shows, talking with other artists, but also just many things that are not strictly related. From what I remember, I think it was about 2001 to 2011. I think I was kind of semi-permanently enrolled once I discovered how affordable it was, how I could pay out of pocket, and then just I took like a huge breadth of classes. I graduated from UT in 99 with a degree in kinesiology. And when I graduated and I realized, oh, I just really want to be an artist. Now what do I do? ACC really was like the answer for me in that regard.